Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a branded Despia video. Now I haven't made one of these in a while, since we got the last support with the Fallen, the Virtuous, and the Dogma. And I have been playing this deck quite a bit. I've just been really busy, so I haven't made a video on this yet. So we recently got two new cards and actually three new cards and two new alt arts. So we got the Fallen of the White Dragon, we got the Tri-Brigade Spring and Skit, we got the Thrust and Deployment alt arts, which look really good, and then we got the Ecclesia of the Black Dragon. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm first going to talk about the new cards, and then I'm going to talk about like some interactions with these cards, because there's something like I do need to talk about when it comes to the new cards. It's pretty important. And then we'll hop into some replays. I have like tons of replays, like tons and tons, because I've been playing a lot with this deck. Now overall, in general, before we like get started into this, I think the support is obviously very good. I just think there are some things that kind of like fuck you over. I'm not sure why they made it that way, but we'll talk about that. So first of all, we got the Fallen of the White Dragon. Now, if you already like seen these cards, you can just like skip this section and just go straight to the replays. And if you haven't, and you want to hear like my thoughts on the new cards, then you can watch this section of the video. So obviously this new card is treated as Fallen of Albaz, so this is completely different than being your name changing to Fallen of Albaz. So you can see Albion says your name gets changed to Fallen of Albaz while it's in the field and the grave. Which means if this is in the deck, it's not treated as Fallen of Albaz. It's Albion the Shrouded Dragon. But this is always Fallen of Albaz, which means that because it's in the deck, that's the official name, you cannot play 3 of this and 3 of this. The 3 limit is actually shared between these two cards, which means you can either play 2 of this and 1 of the original Fallen of Albaz, or you can play 2 of the original and 1 of the new cards. Now, I really hate that. That's like one of the things I really hate about this. It's not like the worst thing ever, but I just feel like, you know, you're missing 3 cards, right? You're missing a third Albaz and 2 of this. And this is a 1-card starter. So I really do hate that they made it that way, but it's okay. It's not like the worst thing ever, because this actually does have some advantages to it. The fact that it's treated as Fallen of Albaz. Actually, it's not even, like, it's literally just Fallen of Albaz. So you can like send it from the deck. You can like fusion someone from the deck with the brand fusion by actually sending the Albaz as Albaz, right? So it does have some like neat interactions. So it's not like the worst thing ever. But there is something else that I need to talk about later, which is way worse than this. So it has an effect that sends for cost a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz. Now this can be any monster in your extra deck that mentions Fallen of Albaz. It doesn't have to be a fusion specifically. So you can send the new Synchro because it does mention it as well. And then after it sends for cost, then it special summons itself, and then it activates its second effect to summon an Ecclesia monster from the deck. Now you don't really have any Ecclesia monsters except this. There's Dogmatic Ecclesia, but she's not really good in this deck. You don't usually play that. And when you go into Incredible Ecclesia, she can basically summon a Sword Soul, the Golden Sword Soul, or she can summon the new Albaz or the old Albaz. Unless you're playing something crazy and you're playing actual like Sword Soul cards or something. That's usually what you're going to be doing. And this is a 1-card combo. So after you get the Ecclesia on the field, you can either Synchro right away into the Ecclesia of the Black Dragon, or you can tag it out into the Golden Sword Soul and then Synchro. And this is the better play, but I can understand why people would not want to be playing this card. Yeah, and then you'd go into the new Synchro. So let's talk about the new Synchro. So level 8, generic, and has a effect in the main phase only to banish itself until the end phase, to special summon a Fallen of Albaz or a level 4 or lower monster that mentions it from the deck or grave. Now, this card is honestly like the first effect sucks ass. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna dick ride this card just because I love branded. Like this card sucks ass. Actually, not this card. This effect sucks ass because this card, as a whole, is actually insanely good because of the second effect. And it actually does give you some resilience to some cards, not Ash. Okay, I don't know why people are saying like, now we have resilience to Ash on Brand Diffusion. That's actually not how it works. We'll talk about that in a second. So it can basically summon any level 4 or lower that mentions Fallen Falbas. So you can summon like Mercurier off of that. You can summon like the Spring and Skit. You can summon not this card. You can summon Incredible Ecclesia, Cartesia, Albaz, and so on. But you can't summon like one of the fusions, right? Um, you can basically put up your full like combo with just like this card going into the synchro. But there's so many issues with this because let's talk about Branded Fusion for a second. Branded Fusion loses to only two cards, Impulse and Ash Blossom. Now, not everyone is playing Impulse because Impulse is not like readily available for everyone to play. It's only specific decks that can play it, like Pure Mitsurugi, Maliss, Mermail. Yeah, like there are just certain decks that can play it. Not every deck can play it. So it comes down to Ash Blossom mainly that you lose to when it comes to Branded Fusion. Um, Now that's not like the worst thing ever that you lose to Ash Blossom and nothing else besides Impulse. This card, on the other hand, loses to every hand trap in the entire game. So something I did not mention is that this does not banish for cost, it banishes for effect. So it's only going to banish itself when it resolves, which means it's going to stay on the field. So this, if you go for this, by the way, because you summoned a synchro, you cannot Branded Fusion. Because Branded Fusion says for the, not for the rest of the turn, it actually says the turn you summon anything that's not a fusion monster from your extra deck or whatever, you cannot summon, you cannot use this card, right? So if you go Synchro, you turn off Branded Fusion. If you go Branded Fusion, you turn off your Synchro, you're not able to go into this. So it's an ultimatum which one you want to pick, and you always want to pick Branded Fusion because the new Ecclesia actually sucks ass when it comes to the first effect. I don't know why it went over all the way over there. It actually sucks ass because it loses to every hand trap in the game. This activates, okay, you get Impermed, GG. Yeah, you can't follow up unless you have like some extenders, like you can go Brandon White and whatever. But you're actually cooked. Like you lose so much. Um, you can get Impermed, you can get Veilered, you can get Ashed, you can get Ghost Belt because this also summons from Grave. You can get Ghost Ogred because this is going to stay on the field. It has to banish itself and then it summons. So if it doesn't banish, it doesn't actually resolve the summon, right? So how many? That's like 5 hand traps. It can get Nibbed, it can get Ghost Belt, Ogred, literally every hand trap ever that you can think of. Um, so yeah, this card plays horribly into hand traps. So realistically, you do not want to be going for this ever, unless you really have to and you have no other choice. So let's imagine you only have a way to grab either Branded Fusion or you go into Ecclesia, and you have nothing else, your entire hand is a complete brick. In that case specifically, while it's true that Branded Fusion only loses to Ash, it's safer to actually go for the Ecclesia of the Black Dragon because if Branded Fusion gets Ash and you have a complete brick in your hand, you're gonna have 0 interruptions. If you go for this, you can actually use the effect to summon an Albaz from your deck or grave on the opponent's turn, and then you can fuse and get like, you know, like 3 interruptions or whatever, right? So it's not actually like completely dead when that happens. But aside from that, you don't really want to be using this first effect or summoning this in the first place. Unless you can afford to do that, and the opponent, you know, like the opponent doesn't have any hand traps, or you already baited the opponent's hand traps, which is not like very, it doesn't happen too often, I've noticed. The real gem about this card is the second effect. So the second effect says if this card is in your grave, you can target a level 8 fusion monster. It has to be level 8, so you can't like target your Garura and shuffle it back. Aside from that, everything else is level 8. So you target a level 8 fusion monster and a card on the field, and it shuffles all 3 monsters. It shuffles itself, the fusion monster that you targeted, and the card on the field that you targeted. This helps you break a lot of boards, and it's actually super easy to set up, especially because now we have the Fallen and the Virtuous and the new White Albaz. This is going to send for cost, so you can basically send Titaniclad to the grave when you summon this, and then you get put up Ecclesia on the board, and then keep it just like that, alright? Then you can go the Fallen and the Virtuous, or you can make that your first play before you even go for this. This is going to send the Synchro, right? You can send the Synchro with either this or this. because they just send any card that mentions Fallen of Albaz from your extra deck. It doesn't have to be fusions. So it doesn't really matter. Either way, you're gonna have a fusion monster plus the Ecclesia and the graveyard, and you're gonna pop a card with the Fallen and the Virtuous. So you're going second. You pop the card, and then you have this set up so you can activate this in the grave to shuffle a card on the field, possibly like a back row or like a monster like Caesar. I actually used it against Caesar a couple times, and it was like super powerful because this is a card that we kind of like lose to. It's actually really bad. Double special summon negate. It's really powerful. This completely outs it. This also outs it, but if they protect it, then you can use this to out it, right? And then if they like try to chain something to like pop you, actually have Ecclesia on the field already. So you can use Ecclesia, tag it out into Albaz. Albaz fuse into the Dogma, or you go into Mirrorjade. You just like completely destroy your opponent's board. It's really powerful. That's why I'm not even playing any hand traps, as you can see. And the only board breaker I'm playing that's like non-engine is like Super Polymerization. Thrust is not really like a quote-unquote board breaker because I don't actually play like talents or anything like that. It's just full engine pretty much, except the Super Poly, which I would count Super Poly as engine at this point. Like it's just part of the deck, right? Would not be surprised if they like make an alt art for Super Poly with like branded stuff in the future. But yeah. So the second this card, like overall, don't get me wrong, is super powerful. It's just that the first effect sucks ass. You almost never want to go for that unless you have to, is what I'm trying to say. And then you have the Spring and Skit, which I actually really like. Like, this is one of the new cards that I feel like is kind of slept on. It's very powerful. Basically, all you need to know is if this goes to the grave, you can summon either a Tri-Brigade, Springans, Fallen of Albaz, or a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz. Now, if this did not say a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz, only Fallen of Albaz, I would not be playing this card. But because it says that, you can literally summon anything. You can summon the Dogma after, you know, it goes to the grave, because this triggers on special summon. You can summon the Mirrorjade back. You can summon, like, this and then get it back into the grave, so you can trigger it in the end phase. You can summon any interruption that you want that mentions Fallen of Albaz. Like, you can summon Cartesia, Quem, Albaz himself. Literally just whatever you want, even Kit. So this card is very powerful. There are even some plays where what I do, like if the opponent goes like Murakumo to nuke the field, I actually chain Ecclesia of the Black Dragon. I summon this, and then when he nukes the board, and I don't have like brand opening to protect in the grave, this is gonna summon the Kit, and then he nukes the board. Kit triggers, resummon back the Mirrorjade, or like the Dogma, or whatever I want. So it's actually like very powerful. I really like that card. And then obviously like the Fallen and the Virtuous, we already seen that before, but with the new supports, it actually makes this card even crazier. Now, I know like the first effect is obviously like the popular effect, everyone uses that, and I'm not sure how many people like actually utilize the second effect, but I love the second effect. The second effect you can actually utilize very well with the new Albaz, because you can easily get Ecclesia on the field, which means that you can use this as a way to stop your opponent from activating a card. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of branded players going around right now, and in some cases there were some people who like activate branded banishment, and by that time already have like this on the field. So they activate branded banishment targeting like Albion in the grave to summon it, or they activate like branded in red targeting Albaz. You chain the Fallen and the Virtuous, you target their Albaz and you seal it. And then you activate your the Albaz that you stole, and then you fuse with the opponent's monsters, and you basically like destroy their board, just like that. Aside from that, you can like steal other stuff to turn off, you know, whatever. You can even summon from your own grave if like this targets, by the way, any monster. So hypothetically, alright, this is Maxi is banned in the TCG, but this is hypothetical. If you activate Maxi, you can basically activate this to dodge a Cold Eye, which is kind of disgusting, right? It works exactly like a Albion the Sanctified Dragon. So yeah, I really like this card. It's very good. And the Dogma himself is like honestly one of like the best cards that have grown on me. I just really love this card. It's really good. Especially if you know how to utilize it properly, so you can like turn on and off the effect where it becomes unaffected, and you actually need that because you can basically turn off the effect. This becomes unaffected if you have an Ecclesia monster. So this means either you have the Ecclesia of the Black Dragon, or you have the original Incredible Ecclesia. This, most of the time, can actually just easily be added back to your hand during the end phase, and you keep it in your hand, you don't actually discard it. And then you have this on the field, so this is going to be unaffected, which means you can activate this whenever you want to banish it, and then this is going to become affected, right? And then you can use Cartesia to fuse with this, and then Quem revives it back, and then you can trigger its effect, right? You do need to make it affected before you fuse, because this is unaffected by all other card effects, not just your own. I mean, not just your opponent's. So, yeah. And then whenever, like, you feel like, okay, the opponent is going to summon Murakumo, for example, or something is going to nuke the board and I need this to survive, yeah, you just get the Ecclesia in the graveyard. It's really not that hard. You have, like, a million ways to do that. So yeah, I really have been enjoying this deck. And just talk a bit about my build. I'm playing a Bestial heavy build, kind of. With Regained, I've just really been liking the Regained. And I'm playing Allure of Darkness, which not many people play. So that's why I added the second Mercurier. And it's been actually pretty good. I did not expect it to be that good, but actually has been pretty good. And you can also cut the second Retribution because like this is gonna shuffle it back, and then you just have like so many ways to like shuffle back your stuff. Regained also like shuffles it back, and so on. And if you want to be cringe, you also have Ido. I don't know why this card's still not banned, but it's still here. This deck plays perfectly around Droll and Lockbird, so that's why we play it. You can Droll yourself if you need to. It doesn't really come up that much, because I feel like even if you don't play this, you don't really need to Droll yourself, because you can just pretty much have like full combo by giving the opponent like one draw. Two max, right? So, yeah. That's all I really have to say. I don't think I have anything else. Yep. In that case, let's just jump right into the replays. I have like tons. Like, look at this. Look at all of these. And this is like, I've played like a million games. These are like the ones that I felt like were fine to like save. Because the others were like kind of boring. They just like scoop instantly, or they get mad and they just stop playing. You know, like when they pause the game and don't play, they let the timer run out. Anyways, so opponent is going first on branded. This is a branded mirror match. So let's see what happens. Opponent goes Quem. Quem send the Cartesia, and then he goes branded fusion for Albion, and then revives the Cartesia with the Quem. Alright, okay, so this, he was playing well until he did that. I don't know why he did that. You don't want to chain your Cartesia to Lubellion, because if this gets impermed, that would really suck for you. I get why he did it. He wants this engraved so he can make more value off of it. He doesn't want to shuffle it back and then like fuse with another body on the board. But this is just not the right play. You don't want to do that play. Surprisingly, he actually goes for Garura instead of sending a Titanic Light. I feel like I personally would definitely send Titanic Light just because I don't have Albaz in this case in the grave, right? So you want to get Albaz in rotation, you can easily like get it into the graveyard if you add it to your hand. So I'm not exactly sure why he did that, but okay, we move. Alright, let's see what we do here. So I activate Albion Shrouded, send the Retribution to the grave. So we basically know everything he has except this card. This call-by is not public knowledge. I was kind of thinking it could be like a Retribution because he didn't use it. I thought maybe he like hard opened it or something. You'd think he would discard it, but maybe he didn't want to. So I was playing around that. So what I do is I actually chain to my Albion, branded opening, and the High Spirits. So we go High Spirits for this, and then we discard the Quem, and then we go Alibra, add branded fusion. Okay, now we have the setup. So like I said, like you can use High Spirits plus this to get your setup of like Ecclesia plus a fusion monster, or you can use like the new Fallen and the Virtuous. There's like so many ways to just make this play. And then we activate the effect to summon an Ecclesia from the deck. And then he uses Banishment now. Okay, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So because I have Ecclesia on the field now, I can just activate Fallen and the Virtuous and steal his Albion. So he uses Mirror Jade. I just dodge. So this forces him to banish the Albaz that I summoned. Otherwise, I would just fuse with him. And then he triggers this, summoning Despia and Luluwalalith, doesn't matter. And then we, as you can see, use the Ecclesia in the grave to bait out his final back row. And now he has nothing. I can just swing over the Quem and the Luluwalalith. And now he has 0 interruptions. Just like that, completely broke his board. So we go into this. This is basically to actually out the brand opening engrave. So now I can freely like do whatever I want. Now, if he had let me pop him, that would have been kind of annoying. It's not. I would have had to like change my plays. But I was pretty confident that he would protect it. Yeah, because I have another way to out this. This is not like the way I would have outed it. That's why I did this play, hoping he would just use the opening. And then here's what I do. So I actually shuffle back his Albion and Luluwalith so they don't trigger in the end phase. This is like so perfectly crafted, right? Your end phase is like your best phase. That's where you do everything. So we summon Albaz with the Titaniclad. We go. So the reason I actually do this is because Mirror Jade is not going to trigger under Lost if you fuse with it. That's why I didn't want him to like let Mirror Jade get popped with the Chaos. And then we add the Mercurier for his Titaniclad in the grave, because he had 3 things that trigger in the end phase. We can't stop all of them, so we had to do this. So we negate it, and then we have like this plus this. We play double Mercurier, so we can trigger it again. Yeah, we just have so much here. So we have Mirror Jade as well, so this doesn't matter. He has to discard for this. Just banish it. We know he has Brand Fusion. We just wait. Yep, and then he sends the new kit to revive Mirror Jade, but that's completely fine. Alright, goes into his own Dogma. We have to chain this now into Quem, and then he chains to banish the Mirror Jade, which is interesting. Mirror Jade is going to trigger here. Alright, we fuse with this so it doesn't like go to the grave and trigger. So this was interesting. We activated Mirror Jade to nuke the field in the end phase. He activates Alubra, I think. Yep, Alubra to negate this, Coritis. So I actually chain Coritis, and then we add the Mercurier, which is activatable. So he has to crash the Dogma here, otherwise he loses. Yep, and then he gets to add the Fallen the Virtuous, pops my Lost. This does nothing. He gets Rimbrum in the grave, but I don't think he has Albaz. See, if he had made the play that I was talking about initially, where he would send like Titaniclad, he would have had access to that. Mirror Jade nukes his board. We add back Ecclesia, High Spirits, and then we add the kit. I actually make a really cool play here. So first we put Regained. We know this is the Fallen the Virtuous. So I knew that he was not going to pop, because popping does nothing. In this case, you would just lose. So you have to summon from the grave. Either grave, whatever you want to summon. You can summon like Dogma, you can summon Mirror Jade, whatever. So I use the Bestial first, targeting his Ecclesia, because if Ecclesia is off the field, the second effect is not going to be live for him anymore. He has to only pop. So I know for sure this is going to bait out his Fallen the Virtuous, and whatever he summons, I can just out. So he summons my own Dogma, which is completely fine, because I already added this back to the hand, and I'm banishing his Ecclesia. So this is going to be affected here. He shuffles 2 back, which is completely fine. And all I have to do here is just avoid sending the Ecclesia to the grave. So I just do this. That's why I added Kit. I actually foresaw this coming. Not him summoning this specifically, just like him summoning like a fusion monster with the Ecclesia. So Kit would give you like resilience from that. The new Kit, obviously. So new Kit goes to the grave because of that, and then we Albaz, we revive the Albaz. Albaz fuse with this into Mirror Jade, and then we swing for game. GG. Let's do another mirror. I actually have like I played so many mirrors, like it's crazy. Drop his. We want to send this tragedy in the lower chains because we want it to resolve. You always want to be playing around Droll and Lockbird just in case. So we check for Droll by going Alibur first. No Droll, so then we go for Banish Mercurier, get the High Spirits. High Spirits is so powerful. In this deck now, if you don't resolve Branded Fusion, doesn't actually matter. As long as you can get Titaniclad and Albion Engrave, you pretty much have like almost full combo. That's pretty much all you need. So we really cook here. We go Branded Fusion for Albion, we go Lubellion, pitch the sword, we go Mirror Jade, and then we summon the Lubellion. we put a branded Lost, and then end phase, we are gonna add Albaz, I think. Yep, the new Albaz, and then we're gonna set a branded in red. Alright, that looks really good. We're gonna add the Mercurial back. I kind of had a feeling he was also unbranded, because by that point I've played so many branded mirrors, and he was on 50 something cards, 52 cards. So he goes Thrust for branded fusion, which is fine. I do this early because he pops for some reason. I'm not sure why he did that, but I go for this early because I want to go into Rimbrom to negate whatever he summons with Branded Fusion. It also forces him to go into Lubellion rather than Albion, which means no follow-up, right? Alright, so he goes Serenir, this is fine. He has to do this to Chainlink block, and then whatever he summons just gets negated by Rimbrom. He has to use up his battle phase, and if he does, I just win, right? Yeah, he's just gonna get outgrinded like crazy. So he goes Albaz, completely fine, we just banish it, and then he can't use his Mirror Jade because I would just Rimbrom negate. Okay, uses up his battle phase, and then we do this, summon the Ecclesia, and then Ecclesia summons Albaz, we go into the new Dogma, boom, he can't activate anything because of Lost, and then we shuffle back whatever he sent, that's going to trigger in the end phase, and we win. His Mirror Jade doesn't even trigger because of Lost, so that's pretty crazy. How about we do Killer Tune? Alright, let's see this. So we brick here. We don't like fully brick, but like it's not like the best hand. And he has like a turn 0 play. He banishes a random card from the extra deck. We go Super Poly, fuse of this into... Okay, so let's just pause this for a second. This is a targeting negate. It can negate anything. It's like Hot Tread Dragon Archfiend, so it can get even like branded fusion, so I had to like super poly this. The thought process was go into the Titanic Clad, and then we fuse into Granganol using Titan and this, and then we have full combo, because that's pretty much all you need. You end phase cook after that. But he was playing Ogre for some reason. I don't know why he's playing Ogre. Maybe it's searchable in his deck or something. Oh yeah, maybe because of like the emergency teleport or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But he's on Ogre, which is annoying. You never actually see this card, and this is like the only card that actually like stops us here. This and Imperm. So yeah, that does pretty much suck here. So I have to go into Chaos. But it's not the worst thing ever because I still have like a couple interruptions and the opponent has 3 cards in hand. So we summon the new Albaz just to get the Ecclesia on the field, and we can Ecclesia go into Albaz to get double or like triple interruption. It depends really. So we go Albaz here to fuse with the... I think I go Albion here instead of Dogma. Yeah, Dogma wouldn't have done too much. And they also have like a huge synchro monster that can like swing over it. I mean, even if he does, like I can still like search the Fallen and the Virtuous for the following turn and then pop him. But I do think like going Mirror Jades is better. So yep, he goes for just his synchro plays. He banishes random cards, banishes Sanctifier, completely fine. Sends my Albion to the grave, which is interesting. Alright, so basically what he has is he has a targeting negate, the same one we talked about earlier that he summoned on turn 0. And then he has this, which can copy any Killer Tune effect that activates when it's uses synchro material. So you can see like it says you can target one spell or trap, destroy it. This is basically what it's copying, and he has like tons of different effects. So end phase, we add back the Cartesia, we add back Ecclesia, we activate this to add a Brand Fusion, and then we activate this to summon Albaz. So we top deck a Fallen and the Virtuous, which is actually amazing here. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go Golden Sword Soul. He can just negate here. I was not thinking he would do that. I was thinking he would like pop or something, but he banishes Mirror Jade, completely fine. Serenir, get the sword, add back Albaz, and then we go Branded Fusion. He tries to negate. We go Fallen and the Virtuous. We pop our own Branded Fusion, so he can't negate. And then he has no more interruptions, and we win from here. So you can see we sent Kit. Golden Sorcerer triggers to resummon the Blazing Cartesia, and then we resummon the Mirror Jade with the what do you call it? The Kit, and then we activate the Ecclesia Synchro to shuffle this back and swing for game. That's just like BM, because this is unaffected. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. How about we do this one? So this guy was on Blue Eyes Buster block or whatever. It's pretty cringe, but let's see what happens. Our hand is not like the greatest going second, but it's branded, so branded can pretty much break any board. You never really know what's gonna happen. And if you don't like break the board, it's completely fine because the end phase, by the end phase, you're gonna pretty much win. So we go Serenir, banish the Maiden, so it doesn't summon. Then he goes Buster, Dragon, or whatever. Alright, basically he wants to lock us, and he's gonna do that. We top deck crazy card, Fallen the Virtuous. He summons his stupid whatever, so we chain this to pop. So basically what this is doing, I don't think the opponent understood what this card does. This gives you protection for Destruction Sword cards. This is not a Destruction Sword card, so it doesn't have that protection from card effects. So it still gets popped here. He also has, like, look at his hand. He has Purge, Valor, Ash. Not sure why he ashed that. He should have Valored, I feel like. Purges my Lubellion. Completely fine. We just summon the Lubellion. We send the Retribution. And then we put the Regain. So I send Retribution so we can add back this for next turn. Because we're not going to be able to kill him in this turn. The end phase is going to go crazy, though. So because he summons, we can summon a Serenir. Then we set the Fallen the Virtuous. This is going to trigger in the end phase. Add the High Spirits. And then we can High Spirits. Get access to the Titan Clad, so we can summon Albaz, discard the kit, fuse into Lubellion, kit triggers, we summon the Albaz, and then we go into Chaos, we pop his back row, and we have a Mercurier in hand for whatever he like top decks, so we pop him early here, just in case he wants to link summon, and we send Rimbrum. We don't actually have a way to get Albaz engrave, unfortunately. But yeah, I was thinking he might also go Typhon. That's why I popped him early. And now we do. I don't know why he swung over that. Now we have Albaz. We go into Mirror Jade, and we basically win. His last set card is just Purge. Purge is not going to do anything. Yeah, you can see like we have like tons of advantage. Regained is like giving us crazy advantage here. Yep, and we just swing for game. So that was kind of crazy. Like we got locked and our hand was not the craziest, and just like one top deck changes everything. There is also another. No, wait, not that one. That one against Pure Mitsu. I actually feel bad for this person because they're on Pure Mitsu, and we actually opened something crazy. So our hand is like a complete brick here. It's really not great. Actually, it's not that person. Wait, it's not him. I don't know if I even have it saved. Wait, damn, I didn't save it. I don't think. Okay, well, whatever. Basically, what happens is that like I bricked and then I used Albion and I top deck Branded Fusion, and then that changed everything. And the opponent was on Dracotail, and they played on turn 0, and they were like 3 cards down. After that, their effects did nothing, and I full comboed through everything. I put up like 10 interruptions, and the opponent just scooped. They did not even like let me finish the turn. Okay, so opponent is on Pure Mitsu. He has an Impulse. So you can see how we play around Impulse here. We go for this, the new card. We go this, summon the Golden Sword Soul, and then this is like this is where like I go Synchro because I feel like something in hand. And this actually plays well into like Impulse if the opponent doesn't know that you can't use Branded Fusion. So he's saving it for Branded Fusion. And then he realizes that I'm literally full comboing, so then he impulses the Lubellion, which is fine. Like, that doesn't really change anything. We go Lubellion, set the place the loss, and then we grab back the Albaz just to get in rotation. Get the Ecclesia back. Synchro Ecclesia comes back as well. And then we go into the Dogma just so we can shuffle back the Lubellion. You don't want Lubellion banished. And we don't have any more Albion, so we had to like go for this play to like recycle our resources. And then yeah, we have like 6 cards in hand, which is crazy. So opponent goes Pots of Extravagance, draws 2, and draws into a crazy... Bro, he draws Prayers and Hawakiri, which is insane. So this was bait. I fell for the bait. Okay, this is very interesting what I do here. So he was summoning from hand, and I knew he had this in hand because he added it. So he was going to nuke the field. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to activate this to fuse first, and then I chain this. The reason for that is this is going to become unaffected by the time I want to fuse, right? So this is going to banish, which is making this unaffected at the moment. So this becomes affected, then the effective fusion resolves, and then I can fuse with these two. Or these two. Yep, I'm going to Mirror Jade. I want to just get rid of the Murakumo for good. I think they play more than one, probably, because it's a Pure Mitsu deck. Nope, he only plays one. Yep, GG. So he goes Prayers. Obviously, he like top decked that with the pots, which is crazy. Summons for some reason. We get the add, and then we resummon the Dogma, which doesn't actually like do anything. This is gonna get popped anyway. And this is why Kit is very good. We summoned Kit with the Ecclesia, like I said previously. Summons back the Mirror Jade, and then this is gonna let us discard the Ecclesia and banish it for good. Now it's completely out of rotation. He already used Kusanagi. So I know like next turn he's not gonna have access to that. So I just let him do whatever here. And then I go Albaz, summon. We go to Lubellion. We also have Lost, so he can't like protect here. We can just go straight into the Albion Sanctifier. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. I wanted to go Albion Sanctifier because during the end phase, when he tries to pass priority, I can activate Albion Sanctifier, summon the Dogma to my field, and then I can shuffle back his Futsu, and if he like gets this engrave to go into like a Dynamundo, which he's not playing for some reason, I can basically shuffle them back, and then he has no targets for his Prayers. So that's like very powerful, and he can't like target this at all. So yeah, I think that was a very good play on my end. He goes into this. I guess he forgot that he actually has more cards than me, so he can't use this. For some reason, I actually had a feeling that he would do that. I saw like 2 level 4s and he was thinking a lot, so I was like, that's gotta be what he's trying to do. Then he goes for this. This Utopic Lancer, if you play Ryzeal, you know how this works. At the start of the battle phase, you can activate this to negate all attack position monsters. It's pretty annoying, so I had to use this now. And I shuffle back his Futsu. He negates. Completely fine. Dogma is unaffected, and it's too big. He goes Zeus. I guess he forgot about Mirror Jade, so we just nuke the entire board. Ecclesia, the Black Dragon comes back. We get like tons of cards in our hand. We get the Retribution for Prayers, or just whatever else he had. Yeah. Then we go Branded in Red. He was basically checkmated because he can't like do anything here. This is not activatable because he has nothing to tribute. Tribute 1 level 5 for a higher monster, negate the effect. I think this has to be like from the field. And if he activates Prayers, it's checked by the Retribution. So he had to let Branded in Red go through. Then we go Chaos, pop 2. And then if he activates this from Grave, I can just... Actually, we can't stop it with the Retribution, but whatever he summons has to get tributed. So yeah, it's completely fine. And now we have like Mercurier to negate like a monster. So after he tributes mandatory with the trap, we negate the summon with the Mercurier. So yeah, that was pretty cool. How about we do this one against Hero? Why not? Alright, so he goes Multi-Army Fuwa, and then he ashes my High Spirits, which is not a bad play. High Spirits is definitely very powerful and worth ashing. We're under Fuwa here. And again, we don't care about Fua. So we set the fusion duplication. We go brand fusion for 1. He's on 5 kingdoms, which is interesting. Pretty fun card, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we get banished. This is basically full combo. Like, we don't actually need anything else. So I actually go Rimbrum here to check his DPE. We go Lost. Kit is gonna trigger to summon the new Albaz, and then a new Albaz is gonna trigger to summon Ecclesia. And then we have a discard for that. So we're gonna activate Ecclesia now. Go into Albaz. He can't activate the DPE because I'll just Rimbrum negate. So we go Dogma, shuffle back his resources here that he sent with Fusion Destiny. Just keep the malicious because it's not actually doing anything, and then he scoops. We also had like banishment here, and yeah, just game over. How about you watch this? I'm not sure like what this guy's playing. Okay, he's on. What's he on? Centurion, White Forest, Mitsurugi, Dark Magician, Eldritch, Horus. What the fuck? What is that shit? Okay, I have no idea what this is. So he tries to draw us here. We just chain the High Spirits. Serenir, send the Lubellion. Like, it's as if like he never even ashed. Like, Ash just does nothing. And because we can't search, we just go into Ecclesia, right? We go into the Synchro. We get the double trigger. So you want to use the Golden Sorcerer Chainlink 1, and then this is Chainlink 2, so that you can send the Cartesia, and then you summon it to this, because the Golden Sorcerer does not target. So we go Dogma, shuffle these 2 back, and then we go Lubellion, put the Lost, and get back this, and this. So you can basically make this affected whenever you want, because you can banish this, and this is in hand. Which means you can get this engraved, and then you can resummon it with the Quem. So you get engraved by like fusing with these 2 into Mirror Jade. And then this gets this back to shuffle whatever in the grave. So it goes, okay. The hell? Alright, so we just passed. I guess I just want to show like Droll. How like Droll does nothing. Okay, Maliss. We go Ash. No, we go Aliber, he has Ash. Ran High Spirits, doesn't Ash it. Alright. Let's see what he ashes here. Okay, so we're going for the Synchro play. He doesn't stop it. I guess he doesn't know that you can't use Brand Fusion anymore. Okay, and then he realizes and he ashes Quem, I guess. I don't know. Okay, doesn't matter because we can just like send the branded in white, use the white to fuse into Lubellion, send the sword, Mirror Jade, set the Super Poly, and then Ecclesia comes back. We add the Albas and we can discard it with the Super Poly. We have Branded Banishment, we have this to summon, we have Quem to trigger, we have the Banish, we have this to summon whatever we want, like Mercurier from deck or whatever. Alright, so we let him do all of this because we're going to fuse with his board anyway, it doesn't matter. We add another discard here, which is also like something else that's going to trigger. We summon the Blazing Cartesia, and then we fuse into Garura. Nice. And then we let him do this. We banish him, so banishment is activatable, and then we can activate Cartesia to fuse with this, draw a card, and then we still have this to go into like Albaz to fuse, and then Quem would trigger, and yeah, GG. How about Tri-Brigade, actually? So opponent is going first. Yep. And he's on Tri-Brigade. I don't know why we can't see his hand, but it's fine. So Tri-Brigade is actually kind of interesting because you can send the Tri-Brigade this kit and then summon a Nerval, and then like, you know, activate the effect to go into links and stuff. It's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Definitely looks a lot better. That card in Tri-Brigade than branded, but it's still pretty crazy and branded as well. He's playing Albaz. I guess he's playing like the Fallen and the Virtuous. Everyone is playing that. Every deck that can play is just playing it. It's too powerful. End phase, we Serenir banish this because he has Rimbrum engraved. We don't want him using that. So we go Allure of Darkness, draw 2, banish the Mercurier. That's so powerful. You go +3 off of that. Okay, so I send this to the grave. Now I just need a fusion monster in the graveyard, which I'm gonna get right here. To use the Ecclesia Engrave. So if he outs my Mirror Jade, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So he goes DD Crow. I'm not sure if he searched this to banish this. Then he goes Revolt, which is interesting. I can't go Rimbrum to like negate him because he has like a million triggers to chain link block. So I just go for the Lubellion. He has, look how many triggers he has. But none of them are actually like interruptions. They're just like follow up. This just like flips you face down, but that's not really an interruption. It's not doing anything. Yeah. We go into Dogma, and then Dogma's gonna shuffle back our own cards. Loss is gonna come back. Retribution is also gonna come back, and then we activate this to out the back row. Ecclesia is just so powerful. Now because we had something get banished, we summon Ecclesia. Now we add the Golden Sword Soul back. We go into Boral, and then we can pop him and swing for game. GG. We should maybe do one more. How about Sky Striker? I'll make this the last one. So this is Board Breaker Sky Striker. He chose to go first for some reason. Alright, let's see what Sky Strikers can do going first. I mean, what can they really like put up? It's just like Widow Anchors and like the one that card right here. That one that like spins stuff back. That's pretty much it, right? I guess maybe they can like there's like an extra deck monster that can like be an interruption as well. So like 4 interruptions maybe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 interruptions pretty much. So end phase we go Druzorm, banishes Ray from grave. We go Allure of Darkness, banish this. Again, that's so powerful. Drawing 2 and then like banishing Mercurier to add like whatever you want. Goes Widow Anchor. So we actually like force him to do that. I don't know why he went early, but it doesn't matter. We would swing, crash it, and then send this to the grave. So he's trying to stop me from doing that, but I just chained the Fallen the Virtuous to pop my own card. And then this is gonna force him out. So he has to use this now. He can't pop, he has to summon. Alright. And then we go Thrust for Grass. Look at this hand. Look how insane this hand is. So he goes for this. This is not really an interruption, doesn't really do anything. Alright, and then we activate the Ecclesia to out the final card, which is like the best interruption here. Yeah, this is basically what I'm saying. Like, you get the Ecclesia in the grave easily, and like any fusion monster, and then you just like activate this. By that time you activate it, it's gonna be like the last like 2 interruptions or so, and it's gonna be you can out like the strongest interruption that the opponent has. So now opponent has no more interruptions. We just fuse into Dogma. Yep. And then we get to shuffle back whatever we want. And we win. So basically what happened, I shuffled anything back because he got super salty. And he stopped playing. And then like right towards the end, before he loses, because I was not going to quit. I just left it and went into another game while keeping the tab open. He was trying to like get a sneak win by like letting the timer run out, and then after some time he comes back and clicks something, so priority is passed back to me and my timer runs out. But I actually caught it literally at like the last 5 seconds. I caught it and then he lost. He's such fucking cringe, bro. He's so cringe. That's why I call him a loser here in the replay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this deck is very powerful. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know if you want more content on Branded. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.